Olivia looked sadly out of the window. She was waiting for Liam from work. She was going to have a serious conversation, and she didn't know where to start. In the bedroom, Noah, 3 years old, was asleep, and in the hallway stood a large suitcase with his things. "Wife, I'm home. Do not shout, grandson will wake up," she answered. "Is Kier here?" He smiled, turning down the volume, but immediately frowned when he saw the suitcase. "What's this?" "His things. Emma brought it." "And where is she?" "She's organizing her personal life." Liam sighed heavily. Emma, their granddaughter, was a young and windy girl. She gave birth very early. From a guy she knew only a little. The father refused to give up the child. He didn't want to get married or start a family. He was recognized as a father and obliged to pay alimony. But the young man, who had just started his career, did not earn much. Alimony was pennies. Therefore, Emma lived on the pension of her grandmother and grandfather. Money was not enough. It is good that the parents of the child's father got more or less adequate. Father-in-law and mother-in-law provided things, helped to furnish the nursery, and even at first settled Mary and her son in their apartment. In general, they helped as much as they could until the age of 3, until their son did not start earning a decent income, and until Noah was placed in kindergarten. And then the head of the family died, and his wife had no savings left. Emma had to be evicted, and the apartment had to be rented so that the mother-in-law had something to live on herself. Emma did not like this state of affairs. She was a girl spectacular and realized that to sit at home in the cradle and wait for grace from fate, not her calling. Therefore, at the first opportunity, she left her son Olivia and ran away for a walk in search of a suitable candidate for seduction. Taught by bitter experience, she behaved cautiously. Emma realized that she did not need children. She needed a husband who would support her. "I can't find a normal man. As soon as they find out that I have a child, they fall right off," she explained to her grandmother. Olivia only shook her head. She could not refuse Noah. She was afraid that Emma was too unreliable a girl, and that she would come into her head for the sake of a successful marriage. It was impossible to predict. That was why Noah was constantly at her and Liam's house. It was not easy because they were not old, but there was nowhere to go. The mother of the child's father could not be with her grandson for health reasons, and Emma's mother was the same cuckoo, having left little Emma 19 years ago for her upbringing and left for another country. She did not even know that she had a grandchild. "Why are all our girls like that, Olivia?" Liam asked a question. "I don't know, Liam. I don't know. What should we do?" Raise them. What options?" "I thought I'd quit my job. I'm tired." "No, Liam. If you stop working, we won't be able to support Noah. Our pension is miserable, and the boy needs something all the time. He's growing up. I understand. However, Emma promised that this grandson would live with us for a short time," said Olivia quietly. "Nothing is more permanent than temporary." Liam grinned sadly. They spent the whole evening thinking about how to go on living. Liam realized that he would have to work until he was old, and Olivia thought that once again they would have to put the boy on his feet. One could only hope that he would grow up to be a more responsible person. In the meantime, Olivia was counting her savings. Enough for daycare, for food. Until New Year's Eve will last. And then we'll think of something. And Emma moved in with her new boyfriend. She promised to tell him about her son a little later. When he was ready, Olivia admitted, hoping that it would happen. But time passed. Nothing changed. Noah lived with his great-grandparents on their pension. Emma did not participate in her son's life. She came once every 2 months and brought something as a gift, mostly some trinkets or unnecessary toys, so that the child, who slowly began to wean from her, did not cry at the sight of his mother. "Emma, you'd better not come at all. Noah is not himself after your visits," said Olivia. She hoped that Emma would understand her hint, but she took her words directly. I wanted to tell you myself that I'm going away for a long time. And Noah? What about Noah? He's fine at your place. You said that after the holidays you'd tell your roommate that you have a son. I'm waiting for him to propose. And then we get married, and he's not going anywhere. Such things are said before the wedding, protested Olivia. Do you want me to miss my chance? Stop interfering with my personal life. Emma began to shout at her grandmother, and she did not argue with her. It was easier to agree. We got by. From time to time, when there was not enough, Olivia borrowed from a friend, Ava. Ava was a strong-willed, intelligent, and wealthy woman. She liked not only to lend money, but also to give advice. Are you and Liam living on a pension? On your pension. Do you support Noah? You do? But he has a father. Does he pay child support? He does. Why don't you get child support? Why? Because, who are we? Great-grandparents. And Noah has a mother. According to the court in deductions to her. Not to her, but for child support. Have you ever seen this money? No. It's not fair. Did you tell her about child support? I did. And I gave birth to him, so I get alimony. And anyway, I need this money more than you do. You have a pension, and I need to live. Olivia repeated the words of her granddaughter. And why doesn't she go to work? She doesn't have time. She's organizing her personal life. It's not fair. Oh, Ava, where do you want to find justice? And you talk to Emma not as a loving and forgiving grandmother, and as a strict Olivia. What's the use? Well, I talked to her, so do not get through. She used to be at least a little attached to her son when he was just a baby. And now, she's dumped the responsibility on us, and she's making her own life at other people's expense. Be careful she doesn't bring a second one. Olivia suddenly became so offended and sad for them with Noah that she almost cried. You, Olivia, don't be sad. Better think about the future. In 10 or 15 years, when Noah will have to study and prepare for the institute, you and Liam will be old. Who will raise him? And if you die before then? God be with you, Ava. We can't die early. Let's get our grandson back on his feet first. If anything happens, don't be afraid. So what now? Noah needs a mother and a father. Tomorrow call Emma and demand that she take her son. And if she won't, say that you will appeal to the guardianship authorities. But how can the law be on my side? We need to scare her. She's afraid of losing her purse. She doesn't need the courts right now. That's right. Olivia did just that. The next day she called Emma, but some man answered the phone instead of her. Hello? Hello, this is Emma's grandmother, Olivia. Hello, Olivia. I've wanted to meet you for a long time. Emma told me so much about you. Yes? And what did she say? Only good things. You've raised a great girl. I wanted to ask for her hand in person, but we still can't get to you. I'm so embarrassed that we still don't know each other. Liam and I will be only too glad, said Olivia for some reason. She couldn't hold it in any longer, and she burst into tears directly into the receiver. You what? Emma is fine. She went to the yeah, we just need help. Olivia wiped the tears from her cheek. You tell Emma, please, that my grandfather and I are not coping, that we need to talk to her when we meet, that Noah misses her very much. She faltered, realizing that she had said too much. Noah, the man tensed. Who's that? Does Emma have a man? The voice on the other end turned cold. I'm sorry, Olivia, tell it like it is. It seemed to me that Emma had some secret. But I couldn't even imagine it was a man. I thought she was happy with everything. But I'd better find out before the wedding. You see, what's the matter? Olivia had to tell him everything. She cried several times blamed herself for not listening to her granddaughter. Yes, unexpected, frankly speaking, exhaled Emma's roommate. You will not marry her now. No, but we will have a serious conversation. She's done a very bad thing to me, and to you, but most importantly, she gave up the baby. I won't let that go. If I didn't love Emma, her things would be outside my door right now. But I love her, so we'll look for a compromise." Olivia did not know what to expect from Pavel. That was the name of Emma's roommate. She hung up the phone with a heavy heart. And the next day, Emma came to see her, and next to her stood the same Pavel. "Hello, Olivia. We're here for our son," he said. "Well, come in. If that's the case, Liam met them." He looked at Pavel with suspicion, but after an hour of serious conversation, it became clear Pavel was determined. He got acquainted with Noah, looked at the conditions in which the boy lives, and decided everything. "We're taking him in." Emma sat silently. She could not believe that Pavel had so easily agreed to take her son, and that now life would change. She was afraid that Pavel would give up on her, just as she had given up on the child. At night, Emma sometimes cried, but she hid it, silenced her emotions with excuses and hopes, and left important words and confessions for later. Time passed, and emotions subsided. She had convinced herself that it was better for everyone, and now she realized she'd wasted so much time and regretted it. "Go to Mommy. No, Mama won't give you to anyone else," she whispered. "Do not worry, Olivia, your grandson will come to you. And you come to us too. The apartment is big." Olivia nodded. When Noah left, she looked at her husband and smiled. She still couldn't believe that everything had turned out all right. "Do you